全世界只有一個人。
Only one human being.
因為彼得願意離開呢個 comfort zone，
Because Peter was willing to get out of his comfort zone.
要面對新嘅挑戰、新嘅 challenge。
He is willing to face new challenges.
結果佢經驗到上帝新嘅恩典。
The result, he was able to experience the extraordinary grace
我
of
哋
Jesus.
唔敢憑信心踏出去，
Many times we refuse to take a
人哋
step by
信
faith.
仰冇什麼新嘅經驗，
Our faith doesn't have any new challenges.
人
And
講嚟講去是幾十年嘅代志，
more or less, we just reminisce.
要上帝幫助人，
May God help us.
你離開呢個嘅 comfort 嘅所在，
Get out of your comfort zone,
讓你經驗上帝新嘅恩典。
that you may experience the extraordinary grace of God.
當彼得掂落去以後，
When Peter was sinking,
就叫掛，
he immediately cried out, Lord, save
就
me.
隨春秋叫起嚟。
And Jesus pulled him up.
嗱，你小看咪？
Think about this.
當耶穌一手發咗彼得嘅時陣，
When Jesus' hand was holding Peter's,
你講彼得個加幫手噃？
would you think that Peter would let loose?
我嚟講彼得永遠唔加個幫手。
Then from then on, Peter never dared to let loose
所以
of the
我
hand of the Lord.
漸漸相信，
That's why I truly believe
耶穌看到彼得，
when Jesus was holding Peter's hand,
彼得看到耶穌。
that was when Peter was also holding the Lord's
兩個
hand.
人喺荒野嘅中間，喺海面一步一步行到盡頂。
Here, Jesus and Peter, one step at a time, hand in hand, walked towards the boat.
全世界
In this world,
又只有彼得，
only Peter,
我啱你講嘅 experience，
only Peter had this
喺
extraordinary
大荒
experience
大鷹嘅裏面，
in the midst of great storm and waves.
及耶穌超近超撒咁行。
Hand to hand, hand on hand, he walked with Jesus.
其他門徒呢
How about the other disciples?
？Yes，真平安，
They were very safe in
跌
their
準
boat.
喺裏面
They，were safe on the boat,
但係失去一關真正寶貴嘅經驗 experience。
but they have never experienced such great grace of God.
教會啊，教會啊，
Brothers and sisters,
先善嘅路實在會信，就傾明淡薄，冒險 take the risk。
the path of faith really needs us to take some risk.
那唔是戇戇響，
It's not a we take this thoughtless risk.
彼得是借到主嘅話落去，
Peter got out of the boat onto the water by Christ's words.
叫咱繼續行喺上帝旨意嘅中間。
May we continue to walk on the path of
那
God.
啲上帝心意，
If it is God's desire,
依份都有風有影，
there may be storm and waves.
你佢哋主教咱同在。
You must remember God will hold our
喺
hand.
環境中間看到咱三級境界。
So He will hold our hand to walk through every step of the storm.
我哋耶穌去第三個所在，
The third place that Jesus was.
耶穌後來去盡頂，
Jesus was on the boat.
耶穌是咱嘅創造者，our
Jesus
creator。
is our creator.
就在呢
How do we know?
，John chapter 6:21，
John 6:21.
門徒就戰跨於接耶穌去準歷史交於所在去。
Then they were willing to take him into the boat, and immediately the boat reached the shore where they were heading.
你注意哦，
You know
呢一
this.
準歷史交於所在去。
The adjective there was immediately the boat reached the shore.
你講 Matthew chapter 14，
If you look at Matthew chapter 14,
32-33。
32 to 33.
依照了準，慌就停咯。啲準頂嘅人朗拜講，你實在是上帝嘅。
When they climbed into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God."
你將這兩真係根本合起嚟，
If you tie up these two passages,
兩樣奇妙大事發生。
there are two miracles that are here.
慌停咯，
The wind died down.
準夠咯，
The boat reached the shore.
兩樣都是奇妙嘅大事。
These two things are miraculous.
慌就停咯，
The wind died down.
大風大鷹忽然間停止。
The strong wind, it suddenly ceased blowing.
我同你講，
Let me tell you,
這個比黃鷹確可怕。
this is actually more treacherous than great storm.
你小看咪？
Think about this.
忽然間大風大鷹忽然間浪中停起嚟，
After the great storm, suddenly the wind died down.
你未驚吧？
Isn't something very fishy
啲
here?
舊約就發生一敗，
In the Old Testament, there was this terrifying
是
incident
做那嘅時代，
during Jonah's time.
做那離開上帝，
After Jonah ran away
上
from
帝
God,
興起大風大鷹嚟擋佢，
Jesus raised a storm in order to block him.
做那講，將我貼喺海裡面，
Then Jonah told the people, "Throw me out into the water,
黃鷹就停止。
and then the storm will stop."
結果呢，
In the end,
冷將佢貼落去嘅時
when they
候，
threw him into the
聖
water,
經講
the Bible said,
落去黃鷹遂停止。
after he was thrown into the water, the wind stopped immediately.
聖經記一句話，
And the Bible added,
歸準嘅人浪大大敬畏耶和華，
then the entirety of this population in the boat, they all worship God.
驚，
Because of fear.
實在驚。
That was actually out of
1
fear.
minute before 大風大鷹，
A minute ago, it was a great storm.
忽然間完全係停止。
A minute later, it was pure tranquility.
你唔會驚？
Isn't that something very
嗱，
scary?
咱哋中間啊，
If you were in that midst,
咱係都驚。
I'm sure you'll be having a heart of fear.
門徒誰跪喺耶穌嘅頭前？
Then immediately the disciples knelt before Jesus.
你實在是上帝嘅兒，
Truly, you are the Son of God.
你是創造無條萬物嘅上帝，
You are the creator of everything.
環境都聽你嘅命令。
Even wind and storm, it abides by your
喺
command.
猶太人嘅思想嘅裏面，
In the minds of the Jews,
上帝是 the creator of universe，
Lord is the creator of the universe.
要當控制世界每一項物件。
He can control every single thing in this world.
喺以利亞嘅時代，
During Elijah's time,
呢個巴力嘅先知比賽，
there was some kind of a rivalry between
Pas-
Elijah and the prophet of Baal.
神也是戰神，
This time they're going to see who is the real
耶
God.
和華是戰神，還是巴力是戰
Is
神？
it Baal or Jehovah?
你睇這個辦法，
There's a way.
神也有當降下落來就是戰神，
Who can send fire onto the calves? Those he is God.
因為猶太人相信
The Jews believe.
創造無條萬物嘅戰神就是創造一切萬物嘅上帝。
The Lord of creation, he is the creator of everything.
風、
Wind,
氣、
fire,
水，
water,
攞啲上帝控制
they are
嚟，
within the control of God.
所以創一個 testing。
So there's kind of a test.
看神啊，祈禱叫下落嚟，
Who can pray that particular God to send fire?
結果呢，
And what's the result?
以利亞祈禱，
Elijah prayed.
氣就降落嚟。
Fire came from heaven.
猶太人跪喺呢個頭前講，耶和華是戰神，耶和華是
The,
戰神。
the Jews bowed down and said, Jehovah is the Lord.
現在
At this very
耶
moment,
穌將黃應水停止，
Jesus stopped the wind.
證明耶穌是 creator of the universe，
It testifies to the fact that Jesus is the creator of the
控制
universe.
黃應嘅上
He
帝。
has full control of wind and everything in this world.
呢個門徒跪喺呢個頭前，
The disciples bowed down.
你實在是上帝嘅。
You are truly the Son of God.
黃停止咯，
The wind died down.
準夠咯。
The boat reached the
是
shore.
什麼意思呢？
What does it mean?
猶太門徒哋準裏面啲經過這個 Sea of Galilee，
Well, this boat was traversing in on the Sea of Galilee.
但係行嚟行去未夠所在。
But they just seemed to not be able to reach the destination.
Sea of Galilee 真真唔是一個海啊
The，Sea of Galilee is actually not a sea.
呢是個 lake，
It's a lake.
唔是真大。
It's a very vast.
第一等是11公里，第一框是12公里。
There's only 21 kilometers in length and only 12 kilometers in width.
三年前我有機會去 Holy Land，
3 years ago, I had an opportunity to go
我
to
記
Holy
得
Land. There
我
was
這
that one time
準經過這個 Sea of Galilee，
I took a boat ride and travel in Sea of Galilee.
1點半鐘
1.5 hours.
將規個 Sea of Galilee 行了了，對頭行到尾，
I was able to go from end to end of the Sea of Galilee.
唔是真等嘅所在。
It's not really a vast and big
但係
place.
聖經講什麼呢？
But what the Bible said,
門徒跪暗跌準係咪未點未燈？
but the disciples were on that same boat, and they've been there for
因為
for so many
環
hours
境當意，
because they were buffeted by the
所
wind.
以踢，
So they have been moving forward, backward,
未
forward,
未
backward.
成功啊！
They just can't move on to their
但係耶
destination.
穌哋準嘅時準，
When Jesus was on the boat,
準隨交織嘅所在，
the boat got to its destination.
有兩個可能性。
Two possibilities.
Number one，
First,
是代表這個阻擋嘅力隨環準消失，
it signifies that the one that's blocking them has already been completely
準
removed.
就 key 咯。
Then the boat was able to get to the
第二個可能
destination.
性，
Second possibility,
準縮就夠咯。
maybe it's a miracle the boat got to the shore.
I don't know which one is correct，
I don't know which version is correct,
但是我講這項大字，
but there's something I realize.
當耶穌喺呢個準嘅時準，
When Jesus is on your boat,
你係成功咯，
you will succeed.
呢度夠咯。
You will reach your destination.
對我哋有人估係成功，
There's some saying in
呢
Chinese.
意思呢你真省，但意思真無省。
The words are almost similar, but the ideas are very different.
這個是事倍功半，
There's this saying, get half the results with twice the effort.
堅骨力嘅追緊追啊追啊追啊追死追話咯，但
You
係
are-
出嚟冇什麼成功，
You have been working and toiling so hard, but not much success.
唔是冇追嘅，唔是冇作息冇追緊，
It's not that you didn't work, you did.
摘起追個啱，啱追個摘起
You actually work from day to night, night to day.
，OT and OT，
And you keep on going overtime.
但係攤無波線，
But you just don't see the result.
事倍功半。
That's why I say get half the result with twice the effort.
但係另外一句話，
But there's another saying
都
that
係
goes
相反，
the opposite.
事倍功倍。
You yield twice the result with just half the effort.
做一半，
With
哎呀，
half
但是
the effort.
成功真大。
But the result that you yield is immense.
頭一句
First phrase,
是你家己去做，
this refers to human action.
你靠你家己開啦。
You actually rely on your own
誒，做
energy.
呀做呀做呀做呀，
You keep on doing and rely on your own
結
strength.
果呢，
In the end,
做一半死波畫，
after all of this,
唔是冇啦，
not that you gain anything,
啊未死未畫啦，
it's just so-so.
可憐啊可憐啊。
Too bad.
另外一句呢，
The other one, however,
做及你暫時去做，
when God is with you,
你做一半，
you work half of it,
啊成功兩倍，
you will notice that the success rate is double.
這是我侍奉主嘅經驗啊。
This is my personal testimony of my service with God.
我哋教會最近很最啲咯，
I've been serving the church for many years.
我實在唔知啊，
I just can't believe.
我實在未明白，
I just don't understand.
我實在未了解。
I just can't comprehend.
今日教會要蒙混，教會很多蒙混。
Why,
How God
why,
bless our
why
church.
God, how God bless our church immensely.
你唔能講我搞，我冇搞，
Don't ever think it's because of my leadership.
我唔是強逼，
I'm not espousing
我實在唔
humility.
是強逼，
I'm not
我
actually
冇
very-
強，我唔是強逼嘅人。
I'm not saying out of modesty.
我前日嚟過菲律賓，
I actually want to leave the
我前
Philippines.
日都去香港，
I want to go back to Hong
因為
Kong
我常常感覺，
because I always feel
我嚟到香港，
because if I'm Hong Kong,
我係較搞。
I will actually be a
實事咧，實
better
事咧
person.
我咁我嚟到香港啊，
I believe if I were in
哇！
Hong
等
Kong,
我講等等會嘢時陣，我靠，
when I preach in Cantonese,
屁對都好奇怪嘅。
then this is really my territory,
我
my
嚟
kingdom.
菲律賓啊，
Now that I'm in the Philippines,
講特古都師，福建話又師，英文又師，大家樂又師，廣東師翹翹
I
呢度。
speak 3 languages, but they all sound Cantonese.
我嚟到香港哦。
When I'm in Hong Kong,
對不住啊，David，你冇透露，sorry。
the translator will be jobless.
OK， 我就冇需要這個
And
啊。
I wouldn't need a translator
所以
anymore.
我總感覺我，
That's why I always feel
我應該嚟過菲律賓。
I really need to leave the Philippines.
我嗰時梗鄧人，
Now that I am a Cantonese,
唔不敵梗鄧人嘅教會侍奉，
I've never served in a Cantonese church.
所以就唔應該。
It sounds like incredible,
但上帝時間真奇妙，
but God's time is miraculous.
但是我發現另外一項大事，
But I notice another thing,
就是這個原因，
and there's this particular reason.
主嘅恩典就真多。
That's why I think God's grace is immense,
所以追一半，我只追一半，
which is half the effort.
但係上帝話我真多嘅出嚟嘅 result，
But the Lord was able to make me yield twice, thrice, and more the
因為
result.
我無法，
Things that I can't,
我無法追下最大事，
things that I cannot do.
因為我喺裏邊我有家嘅 limitation，
I have my own constrictions here in the Philippines,
但係上帝嘅時間總是超過我所想，
but God's time is beyond my comprehension.
叫做幫襯人。
May God help us.
門徒別多方多應嘅中間，
The disciples, while they were in the midst of the storm,
已經驗就係上帝是拯救嘅主，
they felt the real presence of this Redeemer
已
that's
經驗
Christ.
就係上帝是創造嘅主，
They realized the Lord is a creator,
但是一直行唔制啊，
but something they still don't know.
上帝推佢祈禱，
Jesus was interceding for them every time.
嗱冇主嘅祈禱，
Without that intercession,
後邊真係行為發生，
nothing will happen after that.
所以等間啊，教會啊，
Brothers and sisters,
叫上帝幫襯人，
may God help us.
一切成功，
All the
一
successes,
切成就，
all the results,
因為上帝推咱祈禱，
it's all because Jesus interceded for us.
有人推咱祈禱，
There's someone praying for us.
叫做幫襯人。
May God help us.